Please explain to people what Oumuamua is, why it's so extraordinary, and why you think it's possible that it came from some other intelligent civilization.
The first object to have been reported by astronomers that came from outside the solar system looked really weird.
NASA just shut down Oumuamua after it suddenly reappeared in space, and it has everyone talking. Even Joe Rogan has weighed in, asking whether this mysterious object could be something more than just a comet. Some say it might be a silent alien probe, while others have completely different theories. The fact that it's back raises even more questions. What's really going on? And could this be the start of a new chapter in space exploration?
To me, the most significant is for what Oumuamua can tell us about the past of our solar system.
Join us as we dive into the strange facts, wild theories, and what this unexpected return could mean for our understanding of the universe.
The thing about Oumuamua is that it was discovered on October 19th, 2017.
The mystery of Oumuamua. Something happened out there, and whatever it was big enough to make NASA go dark. If you thought the mystery of Oumuamua ended years ago, you are in for a shock, because it is back, but this time, it is not alone. If you didn't know before now, scientists have been trying to explain Oumuamua ever since it passed through our solar system on October 19th, 2017. It was the first interstellar object ever detected, and it did not behave like anything we had seen before. At first, astronomers thought it was just a strange asteroid or an oddly shaped comet. But as they studied its movement, they realized something strange. It was accelerating as if something was pushing it, but there was no visible sign of gas or dust. Nothing that would normally explain why an object would speed up like that in space. That was when the whispers started. Was Oumuamua an artificial object? A probe from another civilization? Something sent here deliberately? You will want to watch this video until the end, because what we're about to reveal will leave you speechless. As researchers continue to study Oumuamua, people cannot help but wonder if this mysterious object is a silent alien probe, possibly sending back intel to its creators. There were no detected radio signals, raising questions whether it was stealthy or broken. When the Breakthrough Listen project aimed powerful radio telescopes at Oumuamua in December 2017, they expected to find any trace of an artificial signal. They scanned across multiple frequencies, listening for anything that stood out, but there was nothing. That could mean two things. Either Oumuamua was a dead probe, drifting through space with no power left, or it was designed to be completely silent. A stealth probe would be even more unsettling. Why would an alien civilization send something that does not communicate? Was it observing us? Was it programmed to stay hidden? The lack of radio signals did not rule out artificial origins. In fact, it only deepened the mystery. If Oumuamua was just a rock, its strange movement was hard to explain. If it was a probe, its silence was just as mysterious. Some scientists argued that it might be using a form of communication we simply do not understand. Others said it might be damaged, a relic from a long-gone civilization. But when it left our solar system, the debate did not die down. It only grew louder because Oumuamua did not behave like a typical space rock. And when it reappeared, NASA did not just observe it, they shut it down. Even before its reappearance, Oumuamua was already one of the most baffling objects ever recorded. It came from outside our solar system, moving at a speed that proved it was not bound to the sun. It was not like any known asteroid or comet, and most strangely, it was spinning wildly out of control in a way that scientists could not explain. And usually space objects that have been tumbling for millions of years settle into a stable motion. But Oumuamua did not. It continued to flip and rotate unpredictably. Something had set it spinning, and whatever it was, it had not slowed down. When astronomers first saw Oumuamua, they thought it was cigar-shaped, long and narrow, unlike any asteroid we had seen. But later studies suggested it might actually be flat, like a thin disk, and that changed everything. Apart from that, another strange thing about Oumuamua was its color. It had a reddish surface, which is sometimes seen on space rocks exposed to cosmic radiation for long periods. But its reflectivity was different. It reflected light in a way that did not match any known asteroid or comet. Some researchers suggested that it was coated in organic material. Some have rightly asked if it is a natural but unknown type of comet. Scientists have also tried to explain Oumuamua as a comet made of a type of ice we had not seen before. Instead of releasing gas like a normal comet, Maybe it expelled hydrogen in a way that was invisible to telescopes. But even that theory had problems. Every natural explanation came with too many question marks. So if it was not just a rock, then what was it? And now, with its sudden reappearance, we might finally be close to an answer. But it is not the one anyone expected. Because whatever Oumuamua is, NASA does not want anyone knowing what comes next. Keep watching, because the real story is just beginning. Light sail hypothesis and Oumuamua's shape. Recall that nothing about Oumuamua was normal when scientists first saw it, expecting that it would behave like a regular space rock. Instead, it was moving too fast, tumbling unpredictably, and accelerating in a way that defied explanation. That is when a bold theory that Oumuamua may not have been just a rock came out. Proponents of this claim that it could have been an ancient alien probe, powered by a technology that's still beyond our grasp. One of the strongest voices in this debate is Dr. Avi Loeb, a Harvard astrophysicist who has never shied away from controversial ideas. He looked at the way Oumuamua moved and realized that it behaved exactly like a light sail. A light sail is a spacecraft that moves without an engine. Instead of burning fuel, it relies on the gentle push of light itself. Just as the wind can push a boat across the ocean, tiny packets of light, or what science calls photons, can push a thin, reflective surface through space. This is not just science fiction. Scientists here on Earth are already developing light sail technology. Loeb proposed that Oumuamua might be a piece of thin material, possibly no more than a millimeter thick, designed to be propelled by starlight. Its acceleration, which confused scientists, made perfect sense under this theory. If it was a light sail, then sunlight was pushing it, just as a gust of wind pushes a leaf through the air. But this gets even stranger when you ask yourself who built it. Light sails are not just theoretical. In fact, we have already tested them. The Planetary Society, co-founded by the famous scientist Carl Sagan, launched a real light sail called Light Sail 2 in 2019. It used sunlight to move itself in space, proving that this method of travel actually works. Light sails work because light, although it has no mass, still carries energy. When photons from the sun hit a reflective surface, they transfer momentum to it. If the surface is large and lightweight enough, this push can build up over time, accelerating the spacecraft. Some researchers believe light sails could one day carry probes to other star systems, traveling at speeds much faster than traditional rockets. A project called Breakthrough Starshot is already working on tiny spacecraft that could be sent to Alpha Centauri, our closest neighboring star system, using powerful lasers to push them forward. If humans are just beginning to experiment with this technology, then what about a civilization that is thousands or even millions of years ahead of us? Could Oumuamua be proof that someone else has already mastered interstellar travel? Stay with us as we dive deeper. Even if Oumuamua was an artificial object, that does not necessarily mean it was still functional. It could be ancient, something that has been drifting through space for thousands or even millions of years. You can imagine an old spacecraft launched by an alien civilization long ago. Maybe it was once part of a larger fleet, or maybe it was a lone explorer sent out to study distant worlds. Over time, it might have lost power, its systems shutting down one by one. It could have been floating silently for ages before it finally reached our solar system. Maybe it was designed to look like a piece of space debris, hiding its true nature while silently gathering information. If that sounds far-fetched, consider this. Our own space agencies have already discussed the idea of using decoy probes, sending out small, silent spacecraft to observe other planets without drawing attention. If we are thinking about it, why wouldn't another civilization? And this is where the story takes an even bigger turn. Because there is a group of scientists who are not waiting for answers to come to them. They are actively searching for proof that alien technology exists. For decades, the search for alien life has focused on listening for radio signals. The idea was simple. If another civilization was out there, they might be broadcasting signals just like we do. But after years of listening, we have found nothing convincing. That is why Avi Loeb and a team of scientists started the Galileo project. Instead of just listening for signals, they are looking for physical evidence. That is, actual objects, artifacts, or spacecraft that could prove we are not alone. The Galileo project is not about chasing conspiracy theories. It is a serious scientific effort to examine unusual objects in space and on Earth using the best technology available. And they are not just looking at interstellar objects like Oumuamua. They are also investigating something much closer to home. One of the most ambitious parts of the Galileo project is the search for alien artifacts on the moon. While the moon has a very thin layer of gases, it's generally considered to have no atmosphere. This means anything that lands there can stay preserved for millions of years. If an ancient civilization sent probes to study our planet, the moon would be the perfect place to leave behind evidence. Loeb and his team are planning to use high-resolution telescopes to scan the moon's surface, looking for anything that does not belong, anything that could be artificial. If they find something, it could change everything we know about our place in the universe. But their search is not limited to space. They are also investigating unexplained aerial phenomena, what most people call UFOs. Governments around the world, including the US military, have admitted to encountering objects that defy explanation. Some of these objects move in ways that no known human technology can replicate. They accelerate instantly, change direction without any visible propulsion, and sometimes disappear in the blink of an eye. Most UFO reports can be explained as drones, weather balloons, or even optical illusions, but some cases remain unsolved. And Loeb believes that if even one of these objects is truly alien, it would be the biggest discovery in human history. The fact that NASA suddenly shut down information about Oumuamua continues to raise disturbing questions. What did they see? Why did they decide that the public should not know? With the Galileo project, Loeb and other scientists are not just waiting for answers. They are pushing forward, determined to uncover the truth. And with Oumuamua making a dramatic return, the search for alien technology has never been more urgent. So what happens next? Keep watching, because this mystery is far from over. Should we try to contact an alien object? Imagine that another interstellar visitor appears in our solar system, but this time we recognize its characteristics immediately. It is not just another rock drifting through space. Its motion, shape, and behavior suggest something artificial. This is not just a random object. This is something built. No doubt scientists would want to observe it closely and maybe even send a probe to intercept it. But some argue that we should go further. If it truly is an artificial object, should we try to make contact? Should we send a signal announcing our presence? That idea sounds exciting, but it also comes with risks, ones that great minds like Stephen Hawking have warned us about. Few people understood the universe better than Stephen Hawking. His insights into black holes and the nature of reality changed science forever. But when it came to the idea of making contact with extraterrestrial life, Hawking had a serious warning. In 2010, he made a statement that sent a chill down people's spine. If aliens visit us, the outcome would be much as when Columbus landed in America, which didn't turn out well for the Native Americans. Hawking was not saying that all extraterrestrial civilizations would be hostile, but he understood a basic truth that when a more advanced civilization encounters a less advanced one, history shows that the results are rarely good for the weaker side. If an intelligent species capable of interstellar travel finds us, they would be millions, perhaps billions, of years ahead of us in technology. Their power would be beyond anything we can imagine. To them, we might seem as insignificant as ants. Hawking also pointed out that we have no idea what alien civilizations might be like. Some might be peaceful, others might be explorers, but there could also be those who view other species as competition, or worse, as resources to be used. That is why some scientists believe we should stay silent. We should observe interstellar objects, study them, and learn from them. But we should not send signals, hoping for a response. Because if the wrong civilization hears us, we may not like what happens next. As the debates and speculations continue, if there is one thing scientists agree on, it is that Oumuamua was a missed opportunity. It arrived without warning, passed through our solar system too quickly, and left us with more questions than answers. And if something like it ever comes again, we need to be ready. One of the biggest regrets among astronomers is that we did not have the right tools to study Oumuamua up close. Our telescopes were not powerful enough. Our spacecraft were not fast enough. By the time we realized what we were looking at, it was already too late. That is why scientists are now preparing for the next interstellar visitor. One of the most important tools in this effort is the Vera C. Rubin Observatory, a state-of-the-art telescope being built in Chile. One big lesson we learned from Oumuamua is that we were unprepared. It entered our solar system without warning, moved too fast for us to study in detail, and was gone before we could launch any kind of probe. If another interstellar object appears, We cannot afford to miss the opportunity again. That is where this tool comes in. This observatory is unlike anything we have used before. Traditional telescopes are powerful, but they have a major limitation. They can only focus on small sections of the sky at a time. That means astronomers have to choose which areas to observe, often missing fast-moving objects like Oumuamua. But the Rubin Observatory is designed to solve this problem in a revolutionary way. Instead of focusing on one part of the sky at a time, the Rubin Observatory will continuously scan the entire night sky, creating a massive, constantly updated map of everything above us. It will complete a full scan every few nights, meaning that no object, no matter how small or fast-moving, can slip past unnoticed. Its main instrument, the Legacy Survey of Space and Time (LSST) camera, is the largest digital camera ever built for astronomy. It can capture an area of the sky 40 times the size of the full moon in a single shot, allowing it to detect changes in real time. If an unknown object suddenly appears and moves between the stars, the Rubin Observatory will catch it. This is a game changer. When Oumuamua was discovered in 2017,
A visitor from afar sailed through our solar system in 2017.
it was already on its way out of the solar system. Scientists had only a few weeks to study it before it disappeared forever. With the Rubin Observatory, we will no longer be caught off guard. We will know the moment an interstellar visitor arrives. It is important that we spot these objects early, because the sooner we detect them, the more time we have to observe, analyze, and prepare a possible mission. If the Rubin Observatory had been operational during Oumuamua's visit, we might have caught it much earlier, allowing scientists to plan a way to intercept it. But even with the best telescopes, there is still the challenge of getting close to these objects before they leave our solar system. Observing from Earth is not enough. We need to send a spacecraft, and that is where Project Lyra comes in.
Project Lyra. In this groundbreaking mission, we are embarking on a journey to the Oumuamua asteroid.
Project Lyra is one of the most ambitious space missions ever proposed. Its goal is simple yet groundbreaking. Build a spacecraft fast enough to chase down an interstellar object before it leaves our solar system. But achieving this goal is far from simple, and the challenges involved in making it a reality are much. But why is this such a challenge? The answer is speed. Interstellar objects like Oumuamua travel through our solar system at astonishing speeds. For instance, Oumuamua was moving at about 196,000 miles per hour when it passed by Earth, and by the time astronomers recognized it as something truly extraordinary, it was already hurtling away from the solar system. This is the height of the problem. The speed at which these objects travel is so high that by the time we notice them, they are already beyond our reach. Unlike spacecraft like Voyager, which take decades to reach the edge of the solar system,
Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 were sent out to study the outer planets of the solar system.
an interstellar object zips past in the blink of an eye. Our current space missions simply aren't fast enough to catch up to such objects once they're in motion. A traditional spacecraft using chemical rockets would never be able to catch up. It would be like trying to chase a jet with a bicycle. The solution to this problem is what Project Lyra is all about. To intercept an interstellar object before it speeds out of reach, the spacecraft would need to be capable of accelerating much faster than anything we've designed so far. Traditional space missions take years or even decades to travel vast distances. For instance, the Voyager probes, launched in the 1970s, took over 40 years to leave our solar system. If we want to study an object like Oumuamua up close, we need a spacecraft that can accelerate rapidly and reach speeds high enough to catch an interstellar object within months or even weeks. Project Lyra is setting out to achieve just that, designing and building a spacecraft that can launch quickly, accelerate quickly, and catch up to a fast-moving interstellar object. And to reach the necessary speeds, scientists involved in Project Lyra are looking at a range of advanced propulsion technologies. One of the most promising options is the use of gravity assists. Spacecraft like NASA's Parker Solar Probe have used the gravity of planets like Jupiter or even the Sun itself to slingshot through space at incredibly high speeds. This method uses the gravity of planets and stars to speed up the spacecraft, allowing it to reach faster speeds than would be possible using traditional rocket propulsion. The downside is that it can take years to position the spacecraft to take advantage of the gravitational boost from planets, and it may not be enough to intercept an object as fast as Oumuamua. Another possible solution being explored is nuclear propulsion. This propulsion system uses a nuclear reactor to heat fuel, producing a much stronger thrust than traditional chemical rockets. The technology has been proposed for deep space exploration for decades, but it has never been tested on a large scale. Nuclear propulsion offers a powerful advantage. It can deliver a powerful and steady push, allowing a spacecraft to accelerate fast and possibly chase down objects traveling between stars. But there are some hurdles to overcome. For one, safety is a major concern, and the propulsion system has to be super rugged to handle the extreme conditions of space. The most exciting part of Project Lyra is that once the spacecraft reaches its target, it would be able to conduct detailed scans and take high-resolution images of the interstellar object. If possible, the spacecraft could even collect physical samples of the object. This would provide humanity with the first-ever opportunity to study an object from another star system up close. It would be an unprecedented chance to answer some of the biggest questions about interstellar objects. Are they natural formations, or do they have an artificial origin? If they are natural, what kinds of materials are they made of? If they are artificial, who or what sent them? These are questions we currently have no answers to, but Project Lyra aims to change that by allowing us to directly investigate an interstellar visitor. With current technology, we were unable to gather the needed data to understand Oumuamua or other similar objects when they appeared. By the time we recognized their significance, they were already moving too fast to catch. But if another interstellar object appears, Project Lyra could give us the first real chance to examine it up close, unlocking the mysteries of these interstellar visitors and helping to determine whether they are natural or artificial. The discoveries that could be made are mind-blowing. They could revolutionize our understanding of space, our role in the universe, and even the possibility of life existing elsewhere. What we're dealing with is a race against time. The next interstellar object could arrive at any moment. It could be another asteroid like Oumuamua, or it could be something much stranger, something that finally gives us the answers we have been searching for. NASA, astronomers, and private research groups are preparing for that moment. But the big question remains, will we be ready in time? Stay with us, there's more. Other mysterious interstellar events. While Oumuamua captured global attention as the first confirmed interstellar object to pass through our solar system, it is far from the only mysterious event that has puzzled scientists in recent years. There are other phenomena that suggest that the universe may hold many more secrets, some of which may be far stranger than we imagine. One such event occurred in 2014 when a mysterious interstellar meteor entered Earth's atmosphere. This meteor, designated CNEOS 2014-1-8, was initially dismissed as an ordinary space rock. But as scientists dug deeper into the data, they stumbled upon a shocking discovery. This meteor was not from within our solar system. In fact, it came from another star system entirely. Unlike typical meteors that originate from the asteroid belt or comets within our solar system, this one came from deep space, traveling at a speed too high for it to have been bound to the sun's gravity. What makes this meteor particularly fascinating is the fact that it didn't behave like a typical asteroid or comet either. Most meteors burn up in Earth's atmosphere, but this one seemed to fragment upon entering the atmosphere, scattering small metallic pieces. The key to this discovery is in these fragments. In 2019, a team of scientists analyzed the remains of this meteor and found that the fragments were made of a metal alloy that was much harder and more resistant to heat than anything found in meteors from within the solar system. This unexpected discovery raised many questions. Was this meteor from a planet with conditions largely different from our own? Or did it originate from an unknown type of celestial object? What was the source of its high speed? The analysis of the 2014 interstellar meteor raised as many questions as it answered, and it is only one example of a series of mysterious events that suggest the universe might be far more complex than we can currently understand. Also, fast radio bursts are an interstellar mystery that has baffled scientists for years. These are brief but incredibly powerful bursts of radio waves that originate from deep space. These bursts are so intense that they can outshine entire galaxies, yet they last only a fraction of a second. Since they were accidentally discovered in 2007, researchers have struggled to understand their origin. These bursts are not only fast but also highly energetic, and they've been detected coming from sources located billions of light years away. While some FRBs have been traced back to relatively mundane explanations, such as collapsing neutron stars or magnetars,
Strange and deadly world of magnetars. Neutron stars, but scarier.
extremely dense remnants of stars, Others seem to come from locations that make no sense at all. For instance, one FRB, known as FRB 121102, has been detected repeating multiple times from the same point in space, yet no clear source has been identified. The most intriguing aspect of fast radio bursts is their unexplained nature. Some of the bursts appear to come from vast distances, suggesting they could be linked to extremely energetic cosmic events, while others have patterns that suggest they might be repeating in a regular manner. While many fast radio bursts have been tied to natural phenomena like neutron stars or black holes, there are still no definitive answers as to what causes them. Some scientists have even speculated that they could be the result of alien technology. Though this remains highly speculative, these bursts have sparked intense interest and debate within the scientific community. While most of the attention has focused on the potential natural sources, the possibility that these bursts could be a form of communication from an advanced extraterrestrial civilization cannot be ruled out entirely. In fact, some researchers have even proposed that the patterns and repetition of certain bursts could be interpreted as some form of encoded signal, maybe a form of interstellar communication. And while there's no direct evidence to support this theory, the mystery and power of FRBs make them a topic of ongoing investigation and excitement. In the coming years, we will likely see many more mysterious events unfold in our skies. And as we prepare for these future discoveries, there is no doubt that our understanding of the universe is still evolving. What do you think? Are we starting a new chapter in space exploration, or is there still a lot we don't know? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear them. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video on your screen. You'll enjoy it.